What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. The topics on your screen today, people. Tyler Dibling. Are you having an absolute laugh with that price tag? What are you trying to tell me, Southampton? £100 million, apparently, Southampton won. We're going to talk about Jeremie Frimpong as an option. There's news resurfacing again of him, potentially coming in the summer as our wing-back, with Giovanni Kendo going to Chelsea. We've also had some quotes coming out from a former ex-player at Manchester United talking about Alejandro Garnacho. And we've got some positive news in regards to a certain player from Lyon not being available for the clash against us in the quarterfinals. So a mixture of levels today in terms of positive, negative, medium, yada, yada, etc. Let's dive into this Tyler Dibling story, because I think this one was the most interesting one for me personally. Now, the Telegraph reported earlier on this morning that Southampton are ready to demand a staggering fee of more than £100 million for Tyler Dibling, who's been linked to United. I mean, Tottenham have been interested. There's apparently about 14 clubs interested, right? So naturally, that is going to boost up his price, how much he's worth. It's going to be, you're talking, I thought initially, push it up to 50 million, let's say, for example, right? Hearing double that, 100 million, like, what on earth warrants Tyler Dibling going? I'm sure Southampton fans will even tell you that he ain't worth 100 million quid. Look at any young talent, any young, exciting talent that's done really, really well and has moved to the Premier League recently. You go through them, right? Let's talk about someone like Archie Gray, for example. Everyone was talking about Archie Gray before, obviously, he moved from the Championship. How much did he move for? About 40 million quid, which is probably fair, untested waters. Yes, he's played in the Premier League before, but he's played for Southampton. He's got no European experience whatsoever. I don't think he's capped at international level yet, but he's just an exciting player. So how on earth are you asking for 100 million quid? That's fucking mad. That's absolute madness. Lenny Oro, another one, touted by Real Madrid. Is Tyler Dibling being touted by the likes of Real Madrid or the big clubs around Europe? No. He's not. It's clubs in the Premier League who are looking at him as that next kind of prospect to bring through and then take him to that level. Lenny Oro, we bought for around £50 million, and he'd be probably the best centre-back under 20 in Europe. And you want double that. Do you know what I'm saying? Crazy. Vinicius Jr., 40 million. Rodrigo, 40 million. There's an endless list of players that you can talk about who cost half of what Southampton are asking for, if it is true. Now, this might just be a case of Southampton going, if we just inflate the figure to triple figures, then anything we get below that, it's like typical bargaining, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Anything below that is a positive for us, because we're looking for around, let's say, £60 million. You can't warrant that. Like, I think Newcastle bought Anthony Gordon for £60 million, right? He was much more further along and developed in his phase where he was at, and he was even more exciting than someone like a Tyler Dibling, just moving and to pay that money. So I don't know where these figures are coming from. I don't know if it's coming out from Southampton. I don't have a clue. But you can absolutely bet £1 million, if you've got it, that Manchester United will not sign someone like Tyler Dibling for 100 million quid. Absolutely no chance. Categorically will never, ever happen. Even, I think, for 50, 60 million quid is a little bit bonkers to me. Like, how mad is the world going? I know we, historically, Man United have paid a lot for players. Like Antony, 85 million quid, you could say the same. And this kind of has a knock-on effect on us as well, because when we then go into deals, they'll sit back and they'll go, well, you paid 85 million for Antony, and they just waited and waited and waited, and you end up paying it. You paid £60 million for Lisandro Martinez, and you waited and waited. You tried bargaining with Leicester, and you ended up paying £80 million for them. You can go through it all. 70 million for Lukaku, or whatever it was that we paid for, and 90 million for Pogba. They've just spaffed cash everywhere. So any club that's dealing with United now will try to continue to do that. But what Ineos are trying to do at the minute, I believe, is to kind of develop that reputation where you've got this kind of cap, which Omar Barada did at Man City, where it's like, we ain't going over 50, 60 million unless it's like, I don't know, an opportunity comes on the market where you just cannot ignore it. Let's say Sesko comes, it becomes available and they want to go and get him and they're saying £50 million, and maybe that's something you can look at. Or, maybe there's other positions. And then it's like a striker, for example. If Osman becomes available for 60 million quid, you absolutely spend that because the return that you're going to get on it. I mean, Osman is a 20 to 30 goal striker, right? So you're going to invest that kind of money. If you invest 60, 70 million quid in Tyler Dibling and it doesn't quite work out, what do you do then? Do you sell him 25, 30 million? Try to get half of your money back? Like, we've made way too many of them mistakes. So what I will say is good luck to Southampton. If they think they're going to get those kind of figures, I wish you all the best, but you've got no fucking chance. Yes, there's a lot of interest there, but they will only go so high. I can't see any team paying over 60 million for him. No chance. I did put a poll up at the start of the show asking people how much they thought he was worth. 33% think 0 to 20 million. 67% think 20 to 40 million, and no one has put 40 to 60, and no one has put 60 plus. So same thing goes to you people in the chat who are watching right now. How much is Tyler Dibling worth, and would you sign him at Manchester United? Charlie Malman saying Dibling value is only 25 mil. Southampton's lost their red. 30 mil no more for a player who's only scored 4 goals and had 2 assists. It's mad, isn't it? I feel like I'm the crazy one in the room. It's like, what the fuck's going on? How on earth can you ask this amount of money? Chris saying Rashford's doing well at the minute. It'd be good to have him back, but can't see that happening. Listen, Chris, with all due respect, yeah, we've been here before. We have been here before. Big up Jay as well. I can see you there, brother. We've been here before with Rashford. Oh, he's back. It might be him. And then, boom, crash again. No. Sell him now whilst he's playing good, whilst there's a reputation there, and whilst there's a good feeling. Now is the market. Now's the time to sell up. And that's pure profit as well. Get 40, 50 million quid for him. Reinvest it back into the squad. That's my opinion anyway. Please do smash a like of the video if you're just joining on the YouTube, or if you're just joining it on TikTok as well. Share to a friend, like video, all that good stuff. Steph saying, can see Dibling going to Liverpool, not us. Saints are Liverpool's feeder club, especially if Salah leaves them in the summer. I feel like Liverpool are looking at a few players. I think Mbuemo from Mberno, however you pronounce it, from Brentford is someone they could be potentially looking at. Isaac's another name that's been mentioned, around 100 million quid. I've seen a lot of stuff about that at the moment. It all depends on what happens with Mohamed Salah, like you're saying it, Steph, I suppose. Oh, James McGrogan on here as well. But James McGrogan's everywhere today. Get rid of the Glazers. They won't leave because they're milking the club. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think Rashford could get them to the final. Imagine Chelsea pay 5 mil to send Sancho back. And listen, that's another thing as well. Ain't happening. If Chelsea think they can be like, yeah, well, obviously legally, according to the contract, they can do that. But if we have to take him back and then try and sell him, and then it just becomes a topic of conversation for the full season, I can't be asked for that. I've just had enough of these players who are like, if and butting, and, oh, I'm not quite sure, don't like this, not doing well here. Just get rid of those players. Fucking get rid of him. From the reports that we're hearing anyway, it seems like Chelsea have cooled those talks down that they're going to pay the 5 mil compensation or whatever you want to call it to send him back to United. So hopefully that's true, and hopefully he can just stay at Chelsea because we don't need that headache. We've got plenty of headaches as it is. Now, instead of selling players, let's talk about buying players. Jeremie Frimpong, and this is coming from Graham Bailey. So look, sometimes with all due respect, I feel like there are people on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. There are your solid ones who deliver the news, who you if you're going to go live about something that's concrete in the transfer window, it's probably David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, these kind of figures, right? Everyone knows the kind of tier ones and where they're at. What I will say is, names like this, for me, it's when I see transfer stories, it's names thrown into a hat. I feel like they use AI to generate it, or they wait for someone extremely credible to mention this in an article or kind of push it a little bit, and then they will run with it and act like they're the one who got the scoop and they're the one who've got the news. You see this throughout football Twitter, right? That's the category I'm putting this in. So, highly rated right back Jeremie Frimpong has committed his future. Obviously, we already know that to Bayer Leverkusen. He signed a contract extension until 2028. But apparently United have held talks with Frimpong's camp in recent weeks. Now, I had a look at his contract situation before. Like I said, it does run out in 2028. He's on €75,000 a week, which works out around 62,000 quid a week, right? Which is nothing, really. Even if you wanted to boost on that to 90k, 100k, I think Xerxes is on around 80k. That's dealable with, right? In comparison, you look at someone like Alphonso Davies, when we was looking at signing him, I feel like the big stumbling block was his wages, because his wages, he was on around £250,000 a week. Go and look. I would implore anyone to do this, by the way. Go and look at Alphonso Davies's wage. Not Alphonso Davies's, fucking hell. Go and look at Bayern Munich's wage bill. It is not. You thought ours was crazy. Go and look at theirs. They've got some expensive players on their books. I suppose they could afford it. You know, they're the biggest club in Germany, whatever you want to call it. But it is a bit mad how much they pay players. Players who have been there for a long time as well, of course. I mean, Harry Kane's on about 450 grand a week. But Frimpong, 75k, we're looking at. That'd be good to bring him in. I like him as a player, someone who we've been linked with for a while. I know we've scouted him extensively because Eric Ten Hag was after him. Why we didn't go and get him when his release clause was there, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's because we weren't playing with wing-backs at the time and we was in a back four. I think now you look at Amorim's system, Jeremie Frimpong as that right wing-back would fit in perfectly. Imagine a world, people. Let me take you on a little trip, right? Everyone close their eyes, whoever's watching this. I doubt you're going to do it, but imagine a world next season where we're setting up with a team, right? We've got, and hopefully it'd be a new goalkeeper in net. I doubt it would happen. But let's say we've got a new goalkeeper in net. We've got Lenny Yoro, the right-sided centre-half. We've got Matthias de Ligt as your central centre-half. And you've got, I don't know, let's say they brought in a new left-sided centre-half. But let's just say, put Aiden Heaven there for now if you want, because he's been doing really, really well. Then we go into the midfield. You've got Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes, or they might bring in an Edison from Atalanta, or a Reinders from Milan, let's just say. Just for an example, I know Reinders has just signed a new contract, but this is a dream, right? We can all dream. Then you have Patrick Dorgu as your left wing-back. You have Jeremie Frimpong as your right wing-back. You then have, I don't know, Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and then, you know, Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen as your striker. Fundamentally, as a team, it just changes so much. You've got a bagsman up top who's going to serve you 20, 25 goals and score in tricky situations rather than Rasmus wrestling centre-backs. You've got two wing-backs on either side who are tailor-made for those roles and athletic enough to bomb up and down the pitch when we need it and to jump into the attacking phase when we need it. And then you've also got other players around there who can use the utility players like your Mazraouis, who you could throw in a right-sided centre-half. You can go through them all, right? You go through it all. Players like Frimpong would improve our team significantly. Kenda is already going to Chelsea. That deal is done and dusted, people. Finito. So it's either you go out and buy someone like a Jeremie Frimpong for, I don't know how much it would cost, let's say 40 to 50 million pound, probably paying 90k a week, or you tap into Carrington and you bring through Bendito Mantato. Do you know what I'm saying? You bring someone like that and you put trust in him. Or you keep Amad Diallo there and you go and buy another attacking 10 who can play in that role. What do you do? That's the question I'm going to leave you with on that conversation. Walker Peters is more the standard you need to be looking at than Frimpong. Are you crazy? I don't know if that was what you were suggesting, but Walker Peters over Frimpong is nuts. Frimpong's output for Bayer Leverkusen is crazy, by the way. That's what we need in Amorim's system. Sometimes the more wingers than they are actual wing-backs, I even feel bad calling them that. But whilst we're on the conversation of wingers, let's talk about these Garnacho quotes. So Paul Parker, who played for Manchester United in the early 90s, played around 150 games for us. He's won a League Cup, 2 Premier League titles, and an FA Cup with United. So he knows the things are true about winning, right? But these quotes on Garnacho I thought were really, really interesting. So he says, I liked him when he came through and he had that Argentinian fire in his belly, which he had lost completely. He has let himself and his family down. He has let his club down because he's not taking advantage of the talent he wasn't supposed to have. He's not playing like an adult, and he is certainly not acting like an adult, and he has to have a good look in the mirror to tell himself that he needs to stop thinking about being the next Cristiano Ronaldo. He will never be that, so he has to accept the fact he needs to work hard to get a decent career. They're quite strong words. Now, I'd imagine these two have never, ever met. They probably never had a conversation, right? I don't know if he's doing a radio show or he was a pundit on TV and he's been asked a question about this. I was struggling to find the specifics before. But for him to say that as like an off-the-cuff kind of comment, this is Paul Parker who said that, by the way, for people who are asking, who's played for United, like I touched on before, won trophies with us, etc. For him to come out and just say that is a bit had he had just had a really bad performance and he was on punditry and then he speaks about it, then there's kind of context to it, innit? You know what I mean? Like you can kind of, okay, this is why he's gone with this. This quote's come out of nowhere and it's baffled me a little bit. I'm kind of like, why is Paul Parker just talking about Garnacho like that? It's a little bit weird. I feel like it was a little bit harsh as well. Because I think since Garnacho's gone over to the right-hand side, I think he's improved quite a bit. I prefer him there, personally. I know a lot of you guys do as well. I like him as on the right-hand side. I remember him playing against Villa the first time, and he was really, really good, and it just offers more balance. And I get the Ronaldo thing a little bit, because it's something that we've spoken about, not only as a community, but as, you know, the lads on the channel as well have spoken about it, saying there is a bit of arrogance there. There is a Ronaldo comparison that just does simply need to stop, because when Ronaldo first came in, obviously there's comparable things there, where he's a little bit greedy, skillful. But what happened with Ronaldo is, and what the big difference is, and maybe Garnacho will do this, I don't know, but there was a first couple of years where he was kind of bedding in and getting used to it, and then his numbers at United, when you started creeping into like 2005, 6, 7 onwards, just went tough and was almost doubling each season. So they got to a point where he scored like 42 goals for us, won the Ballon d'Or, Champions League, you know, everything pretty much. So the comparison is like steady on. We're in a different place as a club at the minute. He's in a different place as a player, in my opinion, personally. And as a team, we're just in a completely different situation. Even the platform to succeed is obviously much more difficult at United now. So that adds to all things when you talk about growth and bits and bobs like that. For me personally, I did think the words were a little bit harsh and just kind of random and out of nowhere. James saying Chelsea are clutching at straws. I'd be happy if any compo enabled us to settle his contract and send Sancho on his way. His bad attitude away from the squad is plenty for me. I hope Chelsea send Sancho back. I want to see that transfer ban UEFA will get them to happen. Already know Nick's buying wage structure is nuts. Yeah, it is crazy. £100 million, you could buy the club for that. Yeah, well, that's what we'll do. We'll buy Southampton for 100 million. Fuck Tyler Dibling. You're trying to ask for 100 million for him. We'll just buy your club, mate. Innit? Like, how much is Southampton worth as a club to actually buy? Let's find that out. I think that's a great point. How much? Everyone have a guess in the chat. How much is South... Oh, shit. I didn't have this on my bingo card. Well, let's have a look. Oh, my God. You are joking. Breaking news. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Southampton Football Club was acquired for £100 million in January 2022 by a holding company controlled by Serbian media tycoon Dragan Salak through Sport Republic, taking over an 80% stake from Chinese businessman Yao Jingsheng. So, Southampton are actually asking for the same price for one player in how much their full club is worth. That is fucking mad. That is crazy, isn't it, Alex? Wow. Yeah. Do you need to say anything? But that's kind of a mic drop, innit? I could just end the stream now if I wanted to and walk off. That is crazy. United passed PSR by 10 mil, I think. Sancho's sale is in that PSR cost, which would mean we most likely fail PSR. It would have been Chelsea's fault. Who would get in trouble? Yep, the Blues. I just want to mark that down. What are we on? The 18th minute of the stream? Yeah, that's just blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind that. Someone had to say it. The Ronaldo thing is what grates on me, to be honest. I hope Garner learned to release the ball and continue his run at the correct time. My only gripes with the kid, and the second one he will learn in time. Yo, bro, I have a lot of football shirts. Do you want to buy some? I just started selling. I'm all right, thanks, mate. Got plenty. Who's the one player you would love to see at United over everyone else? Right now... Great question. Who would I love to see at Man United more than anyone else right now? The days of Frankie de Jong are certainly over. That was one that that was like the one who got away. That was the girlfriend who rejected you, or in your head. Anyway, right now I think Gyökeres would probably number one on my list out of everyone that I can think of. Who's actually available? If we're talking like reality players to bring in, I think Gyökeres would be number one. Him or Osman, give it me on a plate. We are crying out, striking for a number 9, a premium number 9. I can't say it enough. I've been saying this for ages, man. Even going into this season, we need a deadly number 9. Every top team has one. Why the fuck do we not have one? We're regarded as one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we've got with all due respect, a 21-year-old striker kid who's struggling to score as our only out-and-out number 9. And apart from that, we've got Cheeto, who's just coming through as well. So that's the biggest priority for me, and I will debate that with anyone. I'll have that conversation. Obviously, there are other positions that we need to fill. Number 9's the biggest, I'm telling you. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on those comments about Garnacho. I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was a little bit harsh and just unwarranted, to be honest with you. I feel like sometimes ex-players, they say stuff in the media and they know what kind of attention it's going to garner, and they do it for, I don't know if Paul Parker's doing it for that reason. I don't know what he's like as a human being. I don't know what he's like as a pundit. I've never seen him before on live television. I've never been on live television before. Apparently, that just reminded me of that. Yeah, I've never seen him on TV before, so I don't have a clue. But he is someone who's won stuff for United, so he knows a bit. But I mean, we're talking like 30 years ago now, so strange one. I'm sure Garnacho, being the person that he is, the way he would react to that, he'd probably just be like, kiss his teeth and just be like, yeah, whatever, mate. Garnacho was insane under Ten Hag, and he isn't that great under Amarin. He's improving though. He's improving. I don't know if that's a little bit harsh. I still think, I know he had a bit of a goal drought, didn't he? This season. But if we look at his stats so far, I mean, in all competitions, let's have a look. What's he doing? 9 goals and 8 assists so far in all comps this season. So it's not bad, you know. It's nearly in double figures in both. It's not, I mean, he can improve because, I mean, last season, let's have a look what he got. In all competitions last season, he got 10 goals and 5 assists. So he's already basically, that's 15 goal involvements. He's already improved on that. It's a small improvement, but it is an improvement. And that's when he played 50 games. He's only played 45 games at the moment. So he's getting there. I don't know. I've got a bit more patience with Garnacho in a minute. But yeah, let's just see how he improves. The Ronaldo thing's what grates on me. Sorry, I already read that out. Southampton wages are 50 million a year. Danny Olmo. Yeah, Danny Olmo's a great shout. I do love him as a player. Get rejected by your girlfriend's next level simp. I don't know. I can't remember what I said, but okay. Right, let's go on to the next story because I'm losing my idea. Lyon's Malik Fofana. So obviously we're playing Lyon next in the quarterfinals in the Europa League. Malik Fofana will be out of action for 3 weeks with a knee injury and will therefore miss the first leg of the Europa League quarterfinal against Manchester United on April the 10th. Now, people might call this clutching at straws. Do you? If you feel like that's what we're doing, that's absolutely fine. But you are looking for any kind of advantage, right, in these kind of fixtures. The Europa League is significantly important to us. If we manage to win it, get back into the Champions League, it's an extra 40, 50 million quid for the summer. Winning the Europa League will be huge for United, given the position that we're in. And that's crazy to say because of the club that we are, but that is reality right now. I think United fans will tell you that. Winning the Europa League is huge for us at the minute. So any kind of advantage we will take. Now, someone like Malik Fofana, I don't know if people have watched Lyon or watched him specifically. I'd probably say I've seen more of him than I actually have of Lyon as a team. This is a winger who... Belgium at the minute, I've got a lot of talent coming through. Doku would be an easy comparison because Doku played in the French league and Doku is a winger and Doku is really good 1v1 and Malik Fofana is explosive, he's a direct threat. He's got 10 goals and 5 assists for them so far this season, so he's a really, really important player for him. Ryan Cherky's another player who United have been linked with as well, and he's someone to keep an eye on. And they've got those kind of players who can be a threat on the day, and he is one of them who you don't want running at you 1v1. So the fact that he's out for the game, look, it's only, I know, a couple of % off affecting them. They've still got, you can still feel the full team. They've still got some really, really good, strong players in there. But I'm just saying, it's good positive news for us. If let's say, for example, Garnacho was out for us in that game, that'd be a bonus to them, right? So it can only be good news. I'm looking forward to that game. I know it's away first, right? Man United, and then we take it back to Old Trafford. Yeah, we play them in Lyon on the 10th of April, and then the return leg is on the 17th of April, and then you've got a game against Newcastle in between that. So them couple of weeks against, we've got Forest, City, Lyon away, Newcastle, and Lyon at home. I mean, they are some really, really difficult games. So the more players we get back, the more players that are fit and available, the more players that the other team don't have available, the better for us in general. Because now it is crunch time. Now we're getting to the latter stages, of the Premier League. There's like 8-9 games left. We're 13th at the minute. Maybe you can push up to, top 10. I mean, to be honest, I know it sounds crazy, right? But if you look at the Premier League table at the minute, we are 13th on 37 points, right? If you win a couple of games and the teams above you, like Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, they lose a couple of games, you get right back into the mix of 7th, 8th, 9th. It's achievable. Especially with the way the Premier League's been going this season. So it's important now to go into the next couple of weeks with a win. Start getting that winning mentality. Start just bouncing off games. Even if you're getting a draw at Forest or a draw at Newcastle, just continue this winning momentum. And hopefully, we need Rasmus to start scoring more. He started scoring before the international break, scored a goal against Leicester, he scored on international duty as well. We need players like him to start delivering now, because if they don't, I'm not looking forward to the end of the season, I have to be honest. United have strung wins together all season. I know we have, mate. That's why we're 13th in the league. I'm under no illusion. I'm very aware of that. HMJ United says, how can someone that's going to be relegated with 2 Premier League goals this season be worth more than 20 million? You tell me, HMJ. I don't get it. It's mad, innit? Absolute madness. Nick Knack, where are you getting 100 mil from? Dibling scored 2 goals, 0 assists in the Premier League all season. 100 mil from the Telegraph. So this is the Telegraph put out this morning saying Southampton are ready to demand a staggering fee of more than £100 million for Tyler Dibling. It's Telegraph Football they got released from. And Telegraph, to be honest, they're quite a reputable outlet when it comes to, I think at least anyway, from bits and bobs I've kind of worked with. They seem to be pretty spot on in a lot of stuff. So, especially with English talent as well, they seem to be quite good. So, the fact that I think Southampton are putting that out there just as a feeler, basically, to see like what do you reckon it is? They know the market, but putting that inflated figure up there will kind of be like, listen, it's sending a message basically saying we ain't going to accept pennies for this kid. He's talented. That's all it'll be. But it was quite a big figure to say. Like, okay, we'll just buy your club, mate, if that's the case. We'll literally buy Southampton and we'll just, we'll buy all your players in general and we'll run your club instead of paying 100 mil for one player. Are you fucking crazy? The days of that have gone at United anyway. But then if he's only worth 20 mil, he's probably not going to make much difference to United's team. Well, that's not true. We just bought Patrick Dorgu for 25 mil, and he's improved us significantly. So you don't have to spend a lot. The price doesn't dictate how good a player is. Look at Anthony. You can buy clever, and they can have an impact on your team. So yeah. Look, quite a short news show today because I have got to work tonight. I'm literally going to work in next 10 minutes. So, to be fair, it's been half an hour, near enough. So, I just wanted to do a quick show. I didn't want to put no content out there and do a live on TikTok and YouTube. If you can subscribe to the channel, we're on 13,447 subs at the minute. If there's anyone watching on TikTok or YouTube who hasn't subscribed yet, please do smash a like in the video. And, yeah, that was a nice burp. I'll see you guys in the next one.